Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine de Michel. I am Michelle. Today I'm going to be trying a recipe that I have not tried before. This is going to be for skillet chicken with a lemon and thyme sauce, and there's going to be potatoes and carrots with it, so it's going to be a great meal, I think. Let's look at the list of ingredients we need in order to make this. We need some butter. You need thyme, you need some that's going to be chopped up, you need some sprigs, so you need a pretty good amount of thyme. Same for parsley. Lemon, I've already done the zesting, so you can see that that's kind of going to be happening with that, but just one lemon is needed. A pound of baby carrots, some salt, a head of garlic, a chicken, some white wine, dry white wine I should mention, some baby potatoes, some shallots, chicken broth, and flour. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to heat our oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to prepare a cast iron pan. This is, I think, a 12-inch pan. So it's got to be big enough for a whole chicken. So this needs to be coated with olive oil and be pretty generous about it. We're going to set that aside. And here in this bowl, we're going to be combining the butter. Now it says to use unsalted, but all I had was some salted that was ready to go. It has to be softened to room temperature because you're going to be making basically like a butter mashed up mixture here. So with the 4 tablespoons of butter that you have there, again, if you're using unsalted like you're supposed to, you'll have a different amount of salt here in just a moment than what I'm about to do. We're going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of the thyme leaves, and 1 tablespoon of the parsley leaves. And for the salt, normally it's supposed to be a teaspoon. I'm just going to give it like a little bit because of there already being salt in there. So I'm going to say maybe half a teaspoon there. Then we're just going to kind of mash that up together. It's probably not going to go real well. I'm going to try. I forgot to say that 1 teaspoon of the lemon zest needs to be going in with this mixture. It's going a little better now. Get that all mixed together. Looks pretty good. Put your butter aside for just a moment and go ahead and put your chicken in the skillet here. And what we're going to do is, first off, I'm going to tuck my wings back behind so that they're secure back there. It's not like it's something you absolutely have to do, but it does help them keep from drying out a little bit. Next, we're going to be putting some things in the cavity here. First off, half of that lemon that we were talking about earlier. And then for your garlic, you're going to want to cut your garlic in half like crosswise. The top part of mine fell apart, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and shove on the inside here. And I'm also going to be putting in, it says 6 sprigs each. I mean, I didn't go specific here, but 6 sprigs each on the thyme and the parsley. And now we're going to shift to our skin here. We're going to make a little pocket under here so that we can And I like to use a spoon. I mean, you can use your fingers, but I find a spoon to be a little bit easier to get underneath there. So I'm going to use a spoon so I can make a pocket between the skin there and the actual meat on each side for the breast. And then I'm going to take some of that butter mixture that I had here and just kind of spread it out and then try to poke it up in there. And that looks really good. And then I'm going to take some of the butter and put it just kind of in some spots right here on top. It probably won't stay very well, but that's okay. It's just here and there and everywhere along the bird. I'm just going to set that stuff right there because it's not going to want to stay on top of there, and that's fine. So we're going to leave it like that. Now we will close our legs up with some kitchen twine. And it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Last, we're going to add in our wine. This is 3/4 cup of that wine. And the other half of the garlic, I'm going to put that face down in there. It doesn't say to do that, but that's what I think is probably going to be best. We're going to transfer this to the oven and let it roast for 45 minutes before we do the next step. While you're roasting your chicken the first time here for those 45 minutes, in a separate bowl, this is your meanwhile, you want to have your 1 pound of baby carrots. And this is 1 pound of the baby potatoes. These have been cut in half, or if they're kind of on the larger side, I did quarters. And then you're supposed to have 8 medium shallots. Well, I had some kind of larger ones, so they have to be peeled. They can be left whole if you have smaller to medium ones. And I just kind of cut them down to all being around the same size. We're going to be putting, and I forgot to say at the beginning that you're going to need some olive oil for this as well. It does not have a measured amount, so we're just going to drizzle some on there. We're also going to be putting in salt and pepper to your taste. I forgot to say pepper at the beginning as well. I apologize, a little slacking on my ingredients list, but it will be listed in the description. And we're just going to toss those all together to have them ready for once the 45 minutes is up. We're going to be putting these in the pan with those. All right, so far it's looking really good. This is our 45-minute mark here, and this is where we are to add in our other vegetables. But I'm afraid of splashing, so I'm going to try to do this really carefully. Oh my goodness. This might take a couple minutes here. Anyway, once we get all of these added in here around the edges, see, I splashed. Careful. Anyway, after we do that, we're going to be transferring it back to the oven and roasting for another 45 minutes. So here is what our chicken looks like after the second 45 minutes of roasting. I'm going to be taking that chicken and transferring it over here to my plate. And then I'm also going to be taking my vegetables and putting those over here. Right. I'm gonna foil tent my chicken so it stays nice and warm. I think the roasted veggies with all their steam, they're probably good to stay nice and warm. Here in the pan with these drippings, I'm going to go ahead and turn this heat on to medium-high. And I have measured out 3 tablespoons of flour. We're going to put that in there and we're going to be whisking it in. We're going to cook that for just a minute or so. Next, we're going to be putting in 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And then we're going to let that cook until it thickens up. It's going to take about 8 minutes. This has gone for 8 minutes here. I'm going to move it off of the heat. Give it a little stir, see how we're doing. Oh yeah, it looks beautiful there. Kind of a nice little sauce going on. Now what we're going to do is just put in some seasoning stuff. We've got 1 tablespoon of our thyme from earlier. That's basically 1 tablespoon. We also need 2 teaspoons of our lemon juice. I didn't get quite that much in there. There we go. And last, I'm going to season it with a bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to cut up our chicken and get this ready for final plating. And here we are at final plating. Looks gorgeous to me. It smells amazing. Can't wait to give this a try. Let's go. I put a carrot and a little bit of the meat there. Let's see if we got it. Delicious, of course, as expected. Totally recommend trying this and joining us for other episodes of Cuisine. Give this video a like, a subscribe, and a comment, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir.